Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant, and welcome back for more of Let's Play Mother 3. In the last episode, we started off Chapter 8 by finally arriving at Newport City, where it looks like everybody from Tasmally wound up. And we lost track of Boney because he chased after a stink bug in the theater, so we're gonna have to track him down. I've been hearing a dog whimpering for a while. I think it's somewhere right below us. I can't go check it out, though. The reason being is that I'm afraid of dogs. Seriously, their noses are wet, they wag their tails, they lick people's faces. Gah, I totally can't stand that. So could you go look for the dog instead? Sure, that's what we came here for. Really? You must like dogs, then. So you go look for me? Okay, I'll open up this heavy cover. I'm putting myself at major risk, though. Okay, I'll open the sewer entrance for you. Here goes nothing. And apparently we can get into the sewers through the arcade. Don't ask. We'll check out the arcade later, I promise. And it looks like Boney is down here. I can still hear him. That's Boney barking. He must be nearby. And of course, as with any new area, there are some new enemies to encounter. The Metal Attack Roach. Let's hit these things with fire, because I don't really feel like dealing with them. I could Starstorm them, but there's no reason to waste that. Just like any other roaches. Combo attacks. Combo attacks. Let's see how much fire does. Probably could have used a gamma. For some reason I remember these guys being weak to fire. Let's try something else. How about freeze? This should definitely... No? I know all enemies are just as weak to thunder as any others, because thunder just about does as much damage to any enemy as it would to any other enemy, so... Well, I guess those things aren't very susceptible to PSI attacks. That's fine. Good to know. I mean, like I said, I don't use too many elemental PSI attacks, so I'm not very familiar with enemies' weaknesses, and here we will find a brand new enemy. The Putrid Moldy Man. More Fate Serious music. I haven't played this game in a while, so my combos may be a little bit off if you can't tell. But still, Fate Serious, I'd love to 16 you. My 16-hit combo on Fate Serious in the last video was probably my 4th of all time. This narrow dark hole appears to lead into the movie theater. Try going through it? Nah, we already know we can't go through it, but it looks like this is where Boney went through, so he's gotta be nearby, right? Should I bother with you guys? Now, I'll come back for you later. So in here we'll find a couple of trash cans. The first one has a saltwater gun. The second one, on the left, has some magic pudding. And the third one, on the right, has a putrid moldy man. And no sooner do I say I've forgotten how to combo that I get a 16 on Fate Serious. I mentioned before that I'm usually very good at comboing that when I first start playing the game, but after I try to combo to it a couple of times, I just lose the rhythm. It's kind of weird that way. More attack roaches. See if we can run past this guy if we weren't feverish. That stinks. Unintentional bad puns. This stinks. I'm sorry, guys. More putrid moldy men. Also, I believe the putrid moldy men are weak to fire. And Mole Cricket! Hi there, buddy. We did pick up a couple of things. I guess I'll sell them off. Let's see what you got to buy, buddy. I think you're the one... No, you don't have anything all that important. At least equipment-wise. So it sounds like we've finally found Boney, doesn't it? Door won't open and there's no one inside. Sure looks like a dump in here. And we'll find a save frog and a big iron ball. No problem here. Pulling this rope would probably be extremely dangerous. Yeah, usually you don't want to pull ropes with iron balls attached. Certainly nothing in that room was any more interesting than I made it out to be. Absolutely nothing interesting. And Lucas learned Counter Omega! Hooray! Boney! I chased after a strange-smelling bug and it somehow wound up here. And for the last time, Boney joins our party. I promise the party won't get separated after this. But never mind that. Look what's in this next room. Now I warn you guys, what is in here is going to explain everything in this game that is story or plot relevant. And it's a lot to absorb all at once, so you may want to read this over a couple of times if you don't understand it the first time. I know I didn't, but I'll try to take it slow. It's Leader! Remember Leader, the guy who was ringing the bell on the Tasmally Village crossroads before we advanced 3 years in time? Guy never spoke, though, so gotta wonder why he's locked up down here. Yes, it's me, Leader, the bell ringer. It must be a real shock to hear me speaking for once. It wasn't that I couldn't talk all this time, I simply chose not to. As I rang that crossroad bell, deep inside my heart, I had decided I would speak to no one. But the secrets I've been guarding are now starting to leak out. The time has come for me to tell you everything. What I'm about to tell you, you might not want to know. Even so, you absolutely must hear it. It will be a long story, but please listen to it all. Given who you are and how you've lived, what I have to say will tear at your hearts, and there is just so much to tell. So I've decided to have the stink bug trembling behind me memorize everything I say. Ready, Mr. Stink Bug? Long ago, there existed a world different from what the people on these islands think of. This world was incredibly big. More people lived in this world than there are grains of sand on these nowhere islands. I know it may be hard to imagine, but such a world existed once. Understand? At some point, the world wound up destroyed. Naturally, it was humans who destroyed it. In the back of their minds, everyone had an inkling that it would happen at some point, and then it really did happen. And so the world is no more. Just before the end of the world, a white ship came to these islands. On it were all the people of Tasmally Village. Yes, aboard the white ship were those few who had managed to escape the world. The people on the ship still went by their names from the previous world. This white ship plan had been set in place before the world was destroyed. And, although they're part of the world, these nowhere islands are a special place. They were the one place that would remain even if the world was lost. The one and only place where people could survive. And so the white ship arrived at these islands. Have you committed everything so far to memory, Mr. Stinkbug? The reason these islands are special is because they harbor a giant dragon nearly as large as the islands themselves. Long, long ago, people lived together with the dragon. However, at some point in time, the people and the dragon could no longer coexist. So using the 7 needles, the dragon was placed into a long, long sleep by the ancestors of the Magypsy people, who had lived there since ancient times. Ever since, the Magypsies have guarded the needles, in an effort to prevent the dragon from being woken until its power is truly needed. Thus, until the time of its awakening, the dragon continued to sleep as the power of the earth itself. And so, because of the tremendous energy of the dragon hidden deep below, these islands were protected from the end of the world. Those who came here aboard the white ship feared another end of the world more than anything else. They felt that the world's destruction was a direct result of the way they had lived. The people of the white ship discussed things at great length. They shared their wisdom and spoke of grave seriousness. And then they arrived at their conclusion. They decided to completely erase everyone's memories of the previous world and start their lives over with new rules and new roles. Yes, in short, everyone would play out the ideal story that they had come up with. That is what happened. The people would restart their lives in a simple, peaceful village, in the kind of place they wished they had grown up in. They would erase their memory of everything, the world, their belongings, their rules, and then they would begin their new lives. Everyone's old memories would be reset and replaced with their newly created story, and thus the village of Tasmally came to be. However, it was necessary to record the fact that the memory replacement had taken place. The hummingbird egg was the device used to store the memories of the White Ship people. Wes and his son Duster, both playing the roles of thieves, were set to take action should a dangerous situation occur. Remember when they went to Osohe Castle? They went there to retrieve the secret of the people of the White Ship. And there's one other thing. Me. It was essential that one person retain the memory of the previous world to sort of keep watch over things. I was the only one in the village of Tasmally who wasn't given a role in the new story. The sound of my bell served as a suggestion to keep everyone's fabricated memories from reverting. My name, Leader, comes from the word leader. No, that doesn't mean I was anything special. It was just that I was particularly taller than all the others, so upon discussion it was selected because I would be easier to stand out. Being tall, people would want to come to see me, you know? And so I was given the role of revealing these secrets when the time truly called for it. Although the Tasmally village exists in reality, it was originally created as part of a story. I know this may be difficult to believe, but do you understand so far? Let me also talk about Osohe Castle. Apparently, long ago, a kingdom existed on this island, centered around the king of Osohe. However, when we arrived on the White Ship, the people of this kingdom were gone. It seems they had left the islands, fearing that the dragon's eventual awakening someday. Before boarding the White Ship, Princess Kumatora was an infant who had lost her mother and father. Upon coming to these islands, she was given to the Magypsies to raise, and given the role of the Princess of Osohe Castle. Wes and Duster, being her retainers, was another part of the fabricated story. Osohe Castle is one of the few and precious relics of this island's past. We crafted our story in haste so that people inside it have very little past or history. Have you noticed no one in Tasmally can talk about things from 100 or 1,000 years ago? In truth, we had wanted to create an entire plethora of myths and legends, but our story was made in such a hurry that we weren't able to. It's a real shame. I'm sure that much of what I'm saying you'd rather not hear, but it's the truth. Have you listened to everything so far? Have you committed everything so far to memory, Mr. Stinkbug? Truthfully, we had no idea how Tasmally Village would turn out, but things actually went rather well. The people who had arrived on the White Ship had fully taken to their new identities. They believed that they had always lived together peacefully. It was when a person by the name of Porky stumbled upon these islands that everything started to go amok. It seems he used the Time Distorter machine to travel through time and space at will. However, he was apparently shut out from all other times and spaces, and tumbled into this era and these islands. Even worse, he used the Time Distorter to bring many people from other eras here. Pig Masks, as well as everyone in New Pork City, were all brought here and brainwashed by Porky. This Porky fellow seems to view these islands as his personal toy box, with which he can do anything he wants. He would take animals apart and recombine them to make creepy new chimeras. As a childlike dictator, he began doing whatever he pleased, including building Thunder Tower and forming his own army. Porky eventually learned the White Ship secret because of a traitor among the Magypsies. This traitor was Locria, the 7th Magypsy, and the only one you haven't met. After Locria joined forces with Porky, Porky learned about the White Ship people and the secret of the sleeping dragon. Porky decided to pull needles to wake the dragon so he could use the power for himself. The dragon is the power of the very earth itself, you see. It's said that whoever pulls the sealing needles will become the dragon's master. However, only a very select few are capable of pulling the dragon's needles. Apparently, neither the Magypsies nor Porky have that capability. Yet the needles are being pulled now. That means Porky is somehow controlling someone who can control the dragon's power, and that person is no one less than the Masked Man. We have to put a stop to Porky's antics. If we don't, the world will be completely destroyed again, and it will spell the true end for everything. For Porky, That might be the ultimate pleasure, but we can't allow it to happen. The last handful of people are here. Absolutely can't allow it to happen. Lucas, it seems you're a chosen one, with the ability to pull the needle sealing the dragon away. You must pull the Dark Dragon's needle with your own hands, and pass your heart onto the dragon. Let this be my one and only order to you, as your leader. Do you understand everything about the dragon's awakening? I hear that 6 of the dragon's needles have already been pulled. Deep in the earth, the dragon is likely beginning to stir from its sleep now. Supposedly, the last needle is somewhere here in New Pork City. Porky has been gathering everything that lives on these islands into New Pork City to prepare for the final needle's pulling. It is possible that he's planning to hold one final twisted party. But now is our chance to change the looming crisis into a golden opportunity. All things may come to an end, or new and bountiful things may happen. Wouldn't you like to help that happen? Lucas, you were once a weak, fragile boy, but now you've been given a tremendous role to fulfill. Now that you know everything, including everything I'm sure you'd rather not know, the time has come for you to save the future of all life as we know it. God won't make you bear more than you can carry. I'm sure you've heard that phrase before. Know that you aren't fighting alone. Everyone, and I do mean everyone, will lend you their support. That was a long story, but that is the end of everything I have to tell you. Did you understand it all? Yes, I did. Only the Matchipsies really know the needle's locations, so I don't know where to find them. But the way Porky and the others have been acting, I would say that we're very close to reaching the 7th needle. Please, Lucas, be the one who pulls the final needle. Porky issues his orders from the 100th floor of the Empire Porky Building. Start by jumping into the fray and storming the building. After that, you can start looking for clues. It's been such a long time since I've spoken to anyone, and now I'm exhausted. The stinkbug should remember everything I've just said. Take him with you. That way, if you happen to forget anything I've said here, you can ask him to repeat it. Will you go with him, Mr. Stinkbug? And now, with Stinkbug's memory in hand, and a full grasp of exactly what it is happening here, we can take down Master Porky. So we're going to be heading to the Empire Porky Building and put an end to all of these horrible, horrible things that he's set into motion. This is UniversalGiant, and I'll see you guys next time.